Hello everybody, welcome to mazeworld.com. So today we'll discuss another topic with the name called roles and responsibilities for a SAS programmer. So basically any programmer or every programmer, if you take, they're very anxious to enter into the company. They will learn the SAS and they know some concepts regarding on the SAS. Then after that, with the support of concepts, simply they will forward the CV to the companies they wanted to enter into the company. Okay. For freshers is going to be okay. For SAS, freshers is going to be okay. But whereas if you're putting as an experience of 2 years or 3 years or 4 years and etc. So at the time you require a strong and deep knowledge regarding on the clinical also. Because any questions, any interview questions, if they ask you, they'll ask you regarding on the project oriented only. What are the domains? You have an idea. What are the variables you have been used? What type of calculations you have been derived? What type of computations you have been get applied? What type of flag indications you have been defined? So there are a lot of questions where they are going to ask you. So at the time, it will be a tough job to you because learning the SAS is one part and learning the clinical is another part. So that is the reason. So in this session, I want to make it clear to all the programmers who is listening this session. So there are some kind of your roles and responsibilities are there. Really, if you follow these roles and responsibilities, definitely you will be in the company. But make sure that every step is very, very important. There are basically 9 steps are there. If you choose one step, you need to complete the entire step. Then after that, you need to go to the next step. In the same process, if you do it, definitely you will be in the company. So let's see what are the roles and responsibilities. So let's see. So first of all, there are total 9 steps are there. So basically there are total 9 steps. So this is step 1. So in the step 1, what you need to have? You need to have the knowledge on the documents. So this is very, very important. So what do you mean by knowledge on the documents? Because once you just enter into the company, what the company will do, company will provide some documents to you. Like they will provide the study grid document. Okay. Let us assume some study grid document they're going to provide to you. And they're going to provide the SAP document to you. They're going to provide the protocol document to you. They're going to provide the raw CRF to you, and they're going to provide the blank CRF to you, Then apart from that, etc., blah blah, all the different types of documents where you're going to have it, so they're going to provide to you. So the basic important thing is that compulsory once you step into the project, any project you take, so compulsory you should have the knowledge on these particular documents. If this particular documents, if it doesn't like in this particular documents, if it doesn't have any idea, so compulsory you will face a trouble in the project. So this is the first thing. And not only that, there are other thing. I'm just using a plus symbol over here. So why plus symbol? Because along with these documents, you need to have the knowledge in the domains also. That is very, very important. Domains. So what do you mean by domains exactly? Because in the domain, there are different types are there. Okay, basically if you just target the domains like DM is there. Okay, DM, something like some AE, or something like some LB, something like you're going to have some CM, something like you're going to have some EG, something you're going to have some, okay, some VS and etc. So, and there are different types of domains are there. So that means each and every domain you should have the knowledge compulsory. So in the SDTM, that's what we call it. If you wanted to know the domain, you should have the knowledge on SDTM IG guide. You need to have the knowledge. Not only that, again plus symbol again I'm writing. Apart from that, you need to have the knowledge on ADAM also. ADAM IG guide also. You need to have it. So that means these particular guides are very, very important in order to create a standardized data sets. If these guides are not there, you cannot able to know the information. You cannot understand the variable, you cannot understand the value, you cannot know the information, you cannot know the description, you doesn't know the type, you doesn't know the length, you doesn't know the attribute, like it doesn't know the attributes. There are a lot of complications will be there. So that is the reason. So like reviewing the documents is very, very important. Any documents is there, compulsory you should understand all the documents. This is the first part by you to understand. So that is the reason. So simply to say that you need to have the knowledge on classes. So classes is nothing but a different types of class are there, which is equivalent to different domains. Like you're going to have some special purposes there, special purpose, so that you can come to know slowly, and interventions you're going to have it, and at the same time you're going to have some events you're going to have it, and the next one you're going to have some findings, and some findings about, and etc., and blah blah etc. I'm just writing. So these are all the different types of classes. In the classes you're going to have the domain, in the domain you're going to have the variable, in the variable you're going to have the value. So this is a step one, the thing you need to have it. So if you completed this step one, so what happens? What is the advantage of this step one? If any raw data sets which has been given to you, by looking at that, you can easily understand, oh, this variable, this kind of value is there. Okay, this value represents for this variable. Okay, so that means where you can easily visualize what's happening exactly, what is there in the data, what they are saying exactly. So that information you can just grasp. And apart from that, you can just to see the mapping spec, because compulsory for a programmer, if they wanted to perform any task, they will provide the mapping specs to you. Okay, so let us assume this is a mapping spec they are going to provide to you. This is a simple example. This is a mapping specs they are going to provide to you, and this says that create a DM dataset, a complete dataset with this variables. You create a dataset, but these are the variables are there, but each and every variable will have some kind of a criteria. Now in this way you're going to have it. So that means looking at this particular each and every particular notes and note indications and everything, where you will try to resolve, and finally you will create a standardized data set. If the spec is not there, a specification is not there, it's not possible to create a SDTM data set. So that is the reason. So like if you understand this domain, you can understand the what is RF-SDTC, what is RF-ENDTC, what is RF-X-SDTC. These variables you can understand, you can know the description, you can know the value, you can know the calculations, everything you can just come to know. That is the advantage of knowing the domains, right? Now, so once the domains is completed, so you will be more familiar in understanding the raw data sets, and also in understanding the mapping specs. Absolutely, you can understand very easily. Okay, then coming to the next one, the step 2. Okay, this step 2 is more powerful. So in the step 2, what you're going to do in the step 2, first of all we'll just create the trial designs. It seems to be very easy, but it's very easy. It's simple thing like trial design is nothing but only trial related information only you're going to have it. Only trial related information you're going to have it. That's it. Only trial related information. But in the trial design, so there are 3 different stages are there. Okay, number 1. So what are you going to do in the number 1? So first you will just go with the trial design domain. Trial design domains, you will perform it. Next one, the second one we called as trial design. You're going to have some data sets you're going to create it. And the third one, and this is the one the most important, with the standard codes also you can create. With the standard codes, you can create the trial design. So that we'll see in detail when the subject comes, when the topic comes, and etc. But this is another step to be get performed as a SAS clinical programmer. Okay, at any cost you need to create all the things in the step 2. Now once you have been familiar with the trial design, for this trial design compulsory you need to use the protocol. So sometimes what happens, they will give the protocol to you. You need to create own the trial designs completely. Then after that you need to create the data sets. Sometimes what they will provide the mapping specs. They will provide the mapping specs, and by seeing the mapping specs, so you will create the trial design data sets. That's up to the company. So some companies they will follow the protocol. You need, by taking the protocol, you need to create the trial design. Then after that you need to create the data set. This is one case. Another case is that they will provide the mapping specs to you. Simply what you need to do, you need to take the mapping specs and you need to take the raw data sets, and finally you need to create a standard domain data sets you need to create. That is trial design data sets you need to create as per the SDTM standard. So this is a second step what you need to do it. Now coming to the third step, this is one of the important technique. Okay, so coming to the step 3. So step 3, in the step 3 what you're going to do, you will prepare the annotations. So preparing preparing the annotations. So preparing the annotated CRFs you are going to call. That means we call it as ACRF you are going to call. So this is what exactly what you are going to define. So for that compulsory they will provide the blank CRF to you, and they will provide the protocol to you. So compulsory requires protocol compulsory. Okay, protocol they are going to provide to you, and they are going to give the raw datasets to you. Now, and they are going to give the raw CRF to you. So by taking all the scenarios and etc. I'm not indicating all the things. Okay, and etc. I'm giving etc. So by taking some documents, what we are going to, we will prepare the ACRF. This is what exactly what you're going to do it. ACRF we are going to create. This is a what we need to do it. So this is step 3 that will be done by the SAS programmers in some companies. Okay, and coming to the step 4. Step 4 is it's not so easy, but it's okay. In the step 4, so what you need to do, you need to create the mapping specs. Create the mapping specs. Mapping specs on what? On SDTM you need to prepare the mapping spec, and Adam also you need to prepare the mapping spec compulsory. SDTM and Adam mapping specs you need to create compulsory. This should be created by you only. SDTM mapping specs and Adam mapping specs. Okay, you need to take the separate Excel, and with the support of SDTM, IG guide, and with the support of Adam IG guide. So what you need to do, you need to prepare the specs in the Excel. That is in the Excel you need to prepare. So what happens, here the main derived variables will be there. Derived variables. Okay, in the Adam, I'm talking about the Adam, and plus like data will be more incremented. It will not be a less data. It will go and increment the data. Variables will be incremented, and the records will be get incremented. So a lot of variations where you can just see it exactly. So this is what exactly what you need to do it. So finally in the step 4, what you need to do, you need to be able to create the mapping spec. So you think in your mind by yourself whether I am capable to prepare the mapping spec on a particular domain or in a specialized domains or in a custom domain, whether you can create or not. You think about yourself. So this is another level. Okay, now then after completion of this, after completion of step 4, now another step 5 is very important. So this is step 5. So in the step 5 again what you're going to do it. So in step now once the SDTM mapping spec and Adam mapping specs was created, then what you're going to do, you are going to create the what data conversion you're going to do it. So what do you mean by data conversion? Nothing else. It's very simple. Now take the raw data sets. It's very simple. Take the raw data sets. Take the mapping specs. Take the mapping specs of SDTM. Then create the SDTM datasets. That's it. So data conversion means whatever the raw datasets which has been given to you, that raw datasets you will take it. You will take the mapping specs of SDTM. Then after that you will create the SDTM datasets as per the standards of SDTM, as per the standards of CDISC. Now, once it is completed, it's not going to be enough. Then again you need to take the SDTM datasets again. You need to take the SDTM datasets. Again you need to take the mapping specs of what? Adam. Then finally you need to create the Adam datasets. So this is what exactly the step 5 level. So once the data conversion is completed, that means you created the SDTM datasets, then you created the Adam datasets, SDTM and Adam datasets once you completed this. And coming to the next one, step 6. So in this step 6, what you're going to do, you will just go with the validation. That's very, very important. So it's not like proc compare and etc. This is completely different. Okay, that when you're using the SAS code, you will use the proc compare and MSG levels and etc. All blah blah things you're going to use it, but that is secondary. This is a primary one, validation. So what do you mean by validation over here? Validation is nothing but there are different types of tools are available in the market, like Defendoc or some Pinnacle 21. In the older version, they used to call OCV, Open CDISC Validator. So whatever the SDTM datasets you created, whatever the Adam datasets you created, so make sure that the datasets has to transfer to the XPT, and the XPT files you're going to put it into the validation tool. Now once you run that particular validation tool, automatically it will show in the Excel like what type of errors are there in the dataset, in which variable it is there, in which domain it is there, in which value it is there. Every clear-cut information, including with the summary information, will be shown to you, by which where you can resolve the errors very easily. So that is the reason validation is the most important technique, because in the validation only whether your data is done perfectly or not without any errors, that you can come to know only in the validation only. So this validation always will be displayed in the Excel, and try to go through with the Excel, and you need to see each and every particular variable, and clearly they will mention the description and everything. So if the errors are not there, everything is perfect, then your data is validated properly. Then after validation is completed in the step 7. Okay. Now its validation is very easy, right? No, it's not like that. Validation, there are 2 steps are there. One, you will use a GUI based application. Okay. You will use a GUI based application. You will use a GUI application. And you will validate the data. It's very simple. But sometimes what happens, no, you're not only the GUI application. Sometimes you need to write the SAS code. SAS standard code will be there. Standard code will be there that you need to execute it. So once you execute the code, automatically it will validate and it will show you the information to you in the Excel. Even these techniques also can get applied. Okay. Now this is validation. Now coming to the next one, after completion of validation, so what you're going to do? You will perform the now you will generate the TLFS. So tables and listings and figures. Tables, listings and figures you're going to call. So these are all the techniques you're going to do it. Tables, listings and figures. Hardly in a year, maximum 2 to 3 graphs you're going to generate. But maximum your work will be on tables, listings, and this tables, listings will be shown in the SAP. Okay, statistical analysis plan. There is a document you're going to have it, and in that all the tables will get listed. So they are going to provide the table SAP to you, and they're going to mention the tables, numbers, and according to that where you need to generate the TLFS. Okay. Now this tables, listings and figures, what you're going to do? You will take the SDTM datasets. It's very simple. Some companies, what they will do, they will work with the SDTM datasets only. They will never go with the Adams. So SDTM datasets they will take. They will perform the TLFS. But some companies, what they will do? Now they says that Adam datasets you need to take. And you need to perform the TLFS. Remember. So that means maximum 80% of companies, they're just going through with the Adam only. Okay, because in the SDTM more merging datasets has to be take care, and only standard variables only you're going to have it. But whereas in the Adam you're going to have more variables you're going to have it, and more combination of datasets you're going to have it, and at the same time data will goes on incrementing, and more variables will be added horizontally, and complex reporting also where you can do it very easily, and more advantages that compared to the SDTM and Adam. Okay, So that means appropriate different types of domains, you're going to put it in one place, and from there you're trying to generate the reports. It's very awesome. So that's what exactly what you're going to do it in the step 7. So once this particular step 7 is completed, then coming to the step 8. Now once it is completed, step 8. So in the step 8, now what you're going to do, once it is completed, then you'll go with the submissions. You'll go with the submissions. So what do you mean by submissions exactly? What is the meaning of submission? Submission is nothing but you're going to provide to the FDA, like there are different types of variable level metadata, value level metadata, and domain level metadata, computation metadata, where metadata. So this all the different types of metadata, including a data sets, everything you're going to submit to the different XML. And finally you're going to submit. So that we'll see in detail regarding on the submissions how we do it. But compulsory you should have the knowledge on the submissions part also. How do you submit your entire things? So this is a step 8. Step 9 is only from rare companies are going to use it. Step 9, rare companies are going to use it. So this is step 9. So step 9, the rare companies are going to use, that is what we call the data reviews. Data review and analysis you are going to call. Data review and analysis you are going to use it. So this is the last final step where you are going to use it. Some other statistical also we are going to do it, but remember this is the thing. And coming to the in the TLFS also, one important thing you need to remember. In generating the TLFS, you are going to generate the safety reporting, and you are going to generate the efficacy reports also. Efficacy reports also you are going to generate.